G'day Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. It's the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs Elite Pathways weekly wrap, and a mixed weekend for results. Eddo's back, he's back again, ready to rock and roll. He's been doing his yearly top 30 review, which he does on the Pathways page, and we'll probably do an episode about that in the coming weeks, where he'll go through it all, and it'll be very, very insightful. Puts a lot of work into it and does a lot of investigations and that sort of stuff, and then he'll give his opinions on where he thinks we need to have balance for the spots that aren't filled, and what he would be looking for as far as recruitment goes, or upgrading players from the pathway. So can't wait to hear about that. That'll be coming up. In regards to the weekend, he's going to talk about all the results from the junior pathways, from Host Plus, Hastings Deerings in Queensland, Ron Massey and Sydney Shield, and of course New South Wales Cup and Jersey Flegg, where we played the Roosters. I'll talk about NRL right now, and it was a 25-24 loss to the by the Bulldogs to the Roosters. As we all know, the difference in the game was the key positions experience. Has to be said, while I felt that Perham and Burton tried hard, at the end of the day it came down to the experience and class of players like Luke Keary, James Tedesco, and also in the front row, Jared Waria-Hargraves. I felt Tavita matched him as far as their overall performances were, but him coming on at the end was sort of, with the class and experience they had in that pack of theirs, was the difference in getting them across the line. So Keary identifying Max King was sort of stuck on the edge to cover Ockenbaugh, who'd made a good tackle through the middle of the field and was at marker. Keary used his speed, show and go. Tedesco backing up. A very good, classy spine-led try. We got some good tries too, really happy with that. The Fox had some really great moments, but also backing up from Origin, of course, but also, not playing to the whistle, led to one try directly. Poor miss on Joseph Suoli'i. But yeah, you can't blame, I don't blame the Fox, but he had some bad moments in that game as well. And we all love the Fox, so he'll be bouncing back and making sure those things don't happen again. In relation to our own performance, I felt that Tavita Pangai Jr. was fantastic. Paul Alamotti, tough runs out of yardage. He doesn't get enough credit for that. Young guy, stocky, he is well built, but in his first season of NRL, you could have expected he would have had a few more drop balls and been belted a few more times, but he's just continued to get up and play tough, and he's a credit to the junior pathways of the Bulldogs. While some of the others sort of get the more Hollywood moments to chime in when something's on. Harrison Edwards, very strong again, great passing, had to go into hooker because of what happened to Marnie. In those areas of the game, I felt the refereeing as far as the ruck control and analysation wasn't too bad. I felt we deserved a few 6 agains and didn't get them, would slow down too much, but it's been a lot worse for us over certain times. And then you've also got the situation of where the Fox was pushed off the ball chasing a bomb, no penalty, and also we had what happened to Marley with Suoli'i again involved, who's now got a 3-week suspension because he kneed Marnie in the face. And after the Titans game with the forearm to the face, it just weakened our side, and I know we got away with a win there, but it doesn't take away from the fact that foul play's happening to our captain and it's forcing him off the field, and he may not play again this week. Like, that's still up in the air. So let's talk about that now. The player of the round goes to Tavita Pangai Jr. Very, very happy with his performance after Origin. Mark Carroll said that they'll be dropping him 100%. Well, I'm not too sure after that. he did a lot more than the Parramatta boys did after the round 1 Origin loss last year when Canterbury smashed them. That must be said. So in looking at all of that, Tavita, a fantastic performance, and very proud of him, and hopefully that's his minimum now. So in finalisation here, we've got the team changes. So Carraz and Marnie both named. Chris Patolo to make his return. Ryan Sutton's been dropped back to reserve grade. Interesting to see how that pans out. We also have Blake Wilson going back to fullback in New South Wales Cup. It's about his development. Joash, unfortunately, has to go back to Jersey Flegg, but this is what happens when you get some players back and you've got that depth. The younger guys have got to go, just keep getting up and move between the grades as they develop their experience. Because Joash, he wasn't dropped on form, that's for sure. He played really, really well. Really, really well on the weekend, and he's had some really great performances, and was very happy for him in our win against the Roosters, which Eddo will talk about. So a bit of a long introduction from me, but I felt it was a fair bit to talk about in the NRL this week, and I'll pass on to Eddo now, and he'll go over his all the wraps from all the results. Take it away, Eddo. Welcome back.
Hello all, Eddo's back from the Elite Pathways Facebook page for another weekly wrap. Thanks, Michael. Enjoyed your analysis there on the NRL. And so I was off last week. I'm working on a bit of a delve into our top 30 roster and how it looks at the moment and where it's at the moment for next year, and where I think, we might need to bring certain players in, and using that, as a spreadsheet guide and putting it on the Elite Pathways page, and, hearing what other members have to think as well, and their opinions and stuff. So that'll be coming up over the next couple of weeks, where I'll do a bit of a special with Michael, and we'll look more into that. So going back to the results from the weekend, and we'll have some points tables and some results pages of the weekend and what's coming up over this weekend. So in Sydney Shield, Moorebank Rams, they had a nail-biting win over Cabramatta, 25-24. A 1-point field goal to Joel Saldinieri. A win that they desperately needed as they head into, this weekend there's no games in Shield, and they have a bye the following week, so they get an extended break. So it was good to have that win. In Ron Massey Cup, another disappointing loss, this time to the Fiji side, the Silktails, losing 34-12. Game was played over in Fiji. They are struggling at the bottom of the ladder. But I honestly believe that this team is not sole purpose is to win games, although it is nice, obviously, to win games. I just think with the chopping and the changing of the team, there's different personnel each week. A couple of players might be retained each week, but it does change quite a fair bit, and I think it's more served to give players who haven't been playing a lot of footy recently, or even, they might be just coming back after a long layoff, to give them the game time to get some fitness, and it serves them better in the long term. Also playing against older players, it'll speed their development as well. So it's not necessarily always about the results, but about developing individual players. The likes of Jack Stringer, Zach Hetherington, and Bailey Cox all played in this game, and they haven't had much football recently. They will have a bye as well after, like the Shield. There's an extended break this weekend. There's no teams, and then they'll have a bye, so a couple of weeks off. In Queensland Cup, the Host Plus Cup, the Clydesdales lost to Redcliffe 44-12, and they travelled to Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby, against the Hunters this Saturday. Good luck to the boys. In the Colts, the Clydesdales under-21s team, they also lost to Redcliffe 34-10, and they will have a week off with the bye this weekend. In Jersey Flegg, The boys lost 14-4 to the Roosters, who are currently first. We now sit in 4th spot and play the Eels this Friday night at Belmore, who sit in 8th. Very important game if we want to keep in touch with the top 4, because it's pretty tight at the top there. So on the weekend, it marked the return of Jordan Samrani, his first game back from injury, his first game for the Bulldogs, and he scored our only try. Props Damon Marshall and Tim Johansson both started as props, and they continue to impress. So on to the New South Wales Cup game. It was a 20-6 win over the Roosters at Central Coast before the NRL game, and it was 2 tries to winger Gerald Skelton, 1 to Declan Casey and 1 to New Brown. That New Brown one was it really sort of took us out to a bit of a lead, and we sort of grew extra legs from there. Very important try. And Kyle Flanagan, playing hooker again, scored 2 goals. For a New South Wales Cup game, I thought this was played at a very good pace. Ferocious. And there's quite a bit of feeling, some great hits. It was exciting. I thought we didn't really have the best start with the ball, but we just worked really hard for each other in defence and just hung in there. And, it eventually paid off. So it just showed a bit of maturity, just to hang in games, and then, just knowing that you can feed off that on the back end of games. So that's really good to see. And particularly when you see a guy like Joseph O'Neill come into the New South Wales Cup side for his first game. And, he just seemed to handle it really well. It was good to see. And, as I said, they just really work hard together, this team. And some players are not there every week, but they just come into that side and they just know their roles and they do their job. The team plays with a lot of speed and, involved in their attack, going to the line. And, it's exciting to watch. And it's, when you look at it, and we see certain players sometimes come up into the NRL and get a run off the bench, like Rajab did on the weekend in NRL, and you just look at this team's performance and you think, well, we're just waiting in the wings for some of these players to come up and get a similar opportunity. And, there's quite a few that you look at and you think, well, they could definitely do that type of role. Well, not necessarily the same role as what Rajab did, but it would give them confidence seeing a teammate go up and have a role in the NRL, and then they go out and play their New South Wales Cup game and they play accordingly. So it's really good. It seems like there's a good feeling in the lower grades and in the reserve grade, and So going over some of the individual performances, Gerald Skelton, as I said, scored 2 tries, 24 runs, which is huge. Like, that's forward type runs, and 256 run meters, 74 post contact, 2 line breaks, 4 tackle breaks, and he's just a menace. When he's running out from the line, and he usually either beats one defender, the first defender, or he makes good yardage, and he'll get some easy post-contact meters to get the sets rolling. It's going to be interesting when he does get that opportunity in NRL and how he handles that. Declan Casey, 6 tackle breaks. He did go off late. He had his head planted into the ground and was forced off HIA. So hopefully he's doing well. He won't be playing this weekend. Kai Ward played his first game for the Bulldogs in the centres, and he did pretty well for his first game. 139 metres, 11 tackle breaks, 15 dummy half runs. So that's good involvement. No missed tackles. O'Neill, 118 metres, a try assist, a line break assist. So that's very good for his first cup game. Kyle Flanagan, 18 runs, 107 metres, 41 tackles. He wasn't credited with any try assists, but he was the creator for a lot of our attacking raids. And I thought his second half was particularly good. Into the forwards, Jackson Tapine, just a workhorse. Full game, 145 metres, line break assist, 4 tackle breaks, and 42 tackles. That's just great numbers from, I think he was the captain on the weekend. So, yeah, he's really working hard, and it's a shame that he's not getting more time in NRL, or getting time in NRL, because he's definitely playing consistent football week to week in this side. New Brown, 145 metres, and yeah, he was always chiming in with the ball and defended well as well. Lip Boy Hot Boy off the bench, 105 metres, 45 post contact in just 44 minutes. He had good involvement. A couple of the other players on the bench I was quite impressed with as well in their time. I thought Kidiani Katanga and Zach Montgomery, who both do usually play some forward football, but they played more middle this time. And it's not a role that they're generally accustomed to every week, but they did their job. They made some good runs and some decent play the balls and got the sets going. Yeah, so more of that. It'd be interesting to see how they develop. Gideone Katanga usually playing in the edge, but Reece Hoffman's now moved to the edge since we bought Kai Ward. So it's a good experience just to play several positions. So Eddo's man of the match this week, I give it to fullback Joash Papali'i. He made 150 run metres, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, a try assist, 4 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, no missed tackles, and 4 kick defusals. On that kick defusals, I thought his positioning was really good at the back, and not just bombs, but kicks on the ground. He was in very good field position, and coming out of yardage was good. He backed up very well in attack through the middle, and he created the 2-man overlap a few times, and I thought it was a really fine display from Joash. I noticed he does drop back to Jersey Flegg this week to accommodate Blake Wilson playing fullback in New South Wales Cup. Kind of sad to see, because, you know, after a good performance like that he has to drop back to Jersey Flegg. But I guess it just comes down to, you know, Blake Wilson's had a couple of runs in the NRL side on the wing. He is off contract, and they probably want to see what Blake Wilson's like playing. He has played fullback in the Queensland Cup. So they want to see a bit more of Blake and what he can offer the NRL squad more going forward. It might prioritise his re-signing, but I don't think it's a blight on Joash's performance or the way he's been performing in that New South Wales Cup side has been very good this year, and he should definitely not drop his head and just continue to work hard, because I think opportunities will come again pretty quickly. But it will be interesting to see how Blake Wilson goes at fullback, because I don't know that the NRL side is that assured of their fullback moving forward. So they're just trialling a couple of things, I think. I don't know what the plan there is with Hayes Perham moving forward, and then you've got Stephen Crichton coming next year. Whether he plays centre or fullback, you'd expect him to play fullback, given the money that he's going to be on, but he will need to have able replacement there in the fullback position, and the club's probably looking at whether they have what they need already, or whether they need to look for a little bit of depth. I'm not sure, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and it's nothing on Joash. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing. So yeah, Joash, congratulations. My man of the match this week. And that's it for me. I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.
Go for it. Chase good. I'm happy. Chase is onside. We are. Go. 12's good. Good ball. All good. Right. Phoenix. Go one. Well done. Down. Oh, 1 foot. Go two. Great. Passes are good. Grounded. Happy, Jake? Whoa. Happy.
Line's good.
What's that good? Yeah.
Grounding.
Happy with the chase? Go.
Keep going. Grounding.
Ball down, back away. Yeah. Go, Mark. Good, Max. Left side check is good. Yeah. Backwards.
Keep going.
Backwards. Hey! Go, forward. Go forward. Good night in. On four. Right back. Two four.
Keep going.
Two four. Keep going.
I'll just turn, mate. I'll just run over.
All good.